Good evening, everyone. So today is Sunday, the 5th of April. We are all gathering here to do this evening chanting. So today we also had a couple of visitors. A family came up from London to visit, and having seen the temple here, they say that it's so peaceful, so calm, but in the same time, the lady said that it's too calm here, too peaceful here. So like that. Yeah? So they are born Buddhist, and they have studied the Dhamma back in their country. They have a strong faith in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, but in terms of the practice, from the discussions, it suggests that they haven't been to the temple for a couple of years. So the faith and the confidence they have, but the practice is different. But nevertheless, from the way they sat down and chant before they left, it seems like they do memorize the chantings, some of the chantings, or maybe they have been doing the chanting in their house. So in Buddhism, I always say to students, when the students come to visit, or when I visit these schools, I always say, because they have a misperception about the Buddhists. They normally think that all Buddhists are like a Buddhist monks. They should be wearing like this, not marriage, not house, no work, no entertainment. The perception is like that. All the Buddhists are like a monk. But the reality is not. It would be completely different story if everybody, all the Buddhists should be a monk and a nun. And that will be a completely different. It will be like a cult. So then I normally used to explain that a Buddhist means two types. One is monastic, and another is lay Buddhists. Monastic's life is different, completely different than the lay people's life. But the duties are quite similar. There are 6 directions which we will discuss next time or in the future when time applies. Each person has a duty to perform in the 6 directions. And each person has 6 directions to take responsibility. So, as suppose you are a child, then a child has a responsibility towards the parents, the duties that one should be fulfilling, and a duty towards the friends, towards the teacher, towards those who are or those who are serving you, like now current day we can say the postman, police, and the binman, like that. So they have a duty to perform. Similarly, if you are a parent, then as a parent, you have a duty to perform in a sixth direction too. So it's interconnected to duty, and as a monk as well, as a six of their directions that one has to fulfill. So we all have the same similar duties to fulfill, but the way of a life is completely different. Like a monastic's life, as you have seen, monks live in others' generosity and live a simple life, less demanding, less wanting, less desire, living a simple life, humble life. So that's why there are two different ways of ordaining a monk. And one way of ordaining a monk is called Sabba Dukkha Nisarana Nibbana Sachikarana Thaya Etang Kasavang Katwa, which means that I have gone forth on the path to the Buddha, on the path to practice and understand the reality pertaining to itself and free myself from all the defilements. That's another way of practicing. So that's why the monk's duty is like that, which is completely different. And among that, the main part will be study the Dhamma, practice the Dhamma, and then transmitting it, teaching other members to learn the Dhamma and serving the community. So that is the monk's duty, whereas the lay devotees or lay Buddhists have their own duty to fulfill, a duty to look after their family, and also a duty to carry on the traditions. And also one of the duties that one should do is called supporting the monastics. So monastics support with the Dhamma, and lay disciples or lay Buddhists supports with the material supports. So that's the interrelationship is there. For the monastics, it's called the ascetics or a monk or a nun, but for the lay Buddhists, it's called upasaka, upashika. Yeah? So if you upasaka, then the male, upashika means the female. Yeah? Upasaka and upashika means a person who sincerely taken the path or taken the teachings of the Buddha to practice in their life and support the teachings and the Buddha Dhamma Sangha with the four requisites. And then they also approach or taken the three refuges as their refuge, so the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. So whoever had developed the strong faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha and taken the three refuges with a good intention and a great respect, then they are known as the Buddhists. It's like a christening. It's like a christening. Well, a christening is like a birthright, or you're born and the parents will kind of force you to be. Whereas a Buddhist, it's like you take on. Consciously you take on to be the Buddhists. So taking the refuge with insight and devotion constitutes that person as a good Buddhist. And not taking that alone can be called a good Buddhist or a good practitioner. One has to take on the path, only then known as the good Buddhists. So that's the atlas of the 5 precepts. So observing the 5 precepts as much as possible, if not all 5, at least taking some. And that's why when somebody requesting to observe the 5 precepts, they say Visu, Visu, Rakhanataya. So separately I am going to observe among these 5 precepts. And then that is the one that who has taken the path completely. And this is like there are stories like you don't have to practice all 5. You can practice one. Like there is a story. It's similar. It's like a modern. I think it's a modern story, not from the scripture. That there was a thief, and he was stealing from other people all the time for his living. And one day it happened that he come across with the Buddha's teachings of not stealing. So 5 precepts, and then that 5 precepts, there was a one that's not stealing. And he said, this is my profession. Stealing is my profession, so I cannot give up. But I can practice all 4. So he consciously taken on all 4 precepts, and consciously aware that this one I can't practice, so I will continue. And the story goes on saying that one day when he went into one of the houses, and it appeared that there was one lady sleeping, and lady wasn't sleeping. While he was opening all the drawers and collecting the jewelries and valuable items, this lady comes into the room. And having seen that, this lady demands that if you sleep with me or spend night with me, I will not report to the police. But if you go away, I will report to the police. And then this thief said, oh no, I can't, because I am observing the 4 precepts. And then she said that if you really go away, I will inform, and then I will scream that you have raped me, you are trying to rape me, like that. And then he said, whatever you wanted to do, but I'm not going to sleep with you. So with that, he strongly observed that 4 precepts. And then the lady was so adamant, when he left, she screamed out loud and help, he's going to rape me, like that, And then all neighbors came and caught him and put into custody, and investigation began. And he was in the jail for some time. And then after investigation, he was released, saying that his intentions are pure, whereas the lady, her interview or her questioning or answers were like different at all the time. So with that, he was released. So that's the story, that if you cannot practice 5 precepts, at least practice some. Yeah, and this is again, this one story comes in the scripture that there was a fisherman. There was a fisherman, and his job is to fishing and selling it. So then the Buddha went and taught them the Dhamma, but Buddha didn't teach about not killing, but rather taught other Dhammas. So then after that, they observe only 4 precepts. So then eventually they were also following the path and practicing and attain the Dhamma like that. And the simile is given like 5 precepts. If you practice 5 precepts properly, it's like you are suited, booted, and smart. No problem. But if you can't practice all, at least like some clothes you are having it, but holes here and there, not neatly, or not a proper clothes, but at least it's still covering the parts that bring shame and the shame. So that's why the more you have, it's like a suited, booted completeness. Whereas if you are not practicing any, then it's like a naked. So if you are practicing even a 1, then it's like you are at least having a 1 piece covering yourself. So that's the 5 precepts. Now again, when we study this 5 precepts, it seems like a rule, but in the practice of a meditation, and in the Wednesday nights I've been saying that the sila is something that is a universal. And although now 5 precepts is like a Buddhist principles, but in order to understand that these 5 precepts are universal, it's anybody can think about it, and anybody can relate to it, and you don't have to be a Buddhist to practice the 5 precepts. You can, not like suppose I have been to Christmas Eve chanting or service, and then I've been to the Easter services, and also the Holy Communion services in the Catholic Church and even the Protestant churches. And I remember you're not allowed to have a bread and a wine if you are not a Christian or if you are not baptized. And then yeah, you are not allowed to it. And then 10 commandments also only for the Christians, like that. So that's why it's not like that. The ethics in Buddhism is more of like a universal. Whoever practices it, they will gain the benefit from it. Especially when we are meditating, the more we practice, the more we understand that these foundations are so important. So basics foundation. It's like you are building the house. You have to build the foundations firmly, big or strong enough to build the house on it. So without that foundation, the sila, then it will be very difficult to develop the meditation. So that's why if we are really looking forward to the path, we do have to develop our confidence and faith in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha and their capability of attaining the Dhamma. And once we have developed that faith and confidence, then taking into practice. And that practice, we don't have to go deeper. We don't have to go like philosophical things and try to make sense of it. Simple task. Just try to observe the 5 precepts. Not to kill and harm any beings. Not to take what's not given. Not having a sexual misconduct, and not lying, and not taking substances that clouds the mind. And among those 5, number 4 is the hardest for all of us. Not lying is the hardest one. We are very good at lying, and we are very good at making excuses. And that simple lie, normally we think that we get by, but it goes into a consciousness so deeper that it began to become a normal for us in a day-to-day life. But when we meditate, we see that it has really deep effect, and these will pops up. The deeper we go, and then these will pop up one after another. It's like bubbles coming up from the water. So it comes up like that, and then these become obstacles. So we have a saying in meditation that you cannot cheat the teachers. Doesn't matter how clever you are, doesn't matter how much you have read or studied, you cannot cheat, because once the question's been asked, then there will be ways that somebody will be, or they explaining it, and then can't get to the right way, like that. So that's why the practice, it is a 5 precept. The number 4 is the difficult one. And then once we are practicing in that, then it's very easy to get into the calmness, because our mind's been cleared. Physically, we are not violating anything. Physically, we are pure. Nothing is going to disturb. Same with verbal speech. We haven't said anything wrong. We haven't discussed anything wrong. We haven't gossiped to anybody. We didn't say any harsh words, or just say the useless talk. We do not do that. Then our mind is also not distracted by these verbal actions. So with that, when we meditate, it's much easier to go into the calmness and developing the alertness to see things as they truly are. So that's why these are the practices that as a Buddhist should do, or as if you are thinking of following the path, then one should be considering to take on this path like this. There are further other qualities which one should be aware of. So I will speak next time. Yeah? So with this, I wish you all the best on the walk, the path.